What's up, everybody? It's Todd from NFT Crypto, and I just wanted to follow up with some extra stuff that came out, some extra things that came out in the news, just to finish off the week and to cover some of the things that I didn't have a chance to cover this week, tie some things together because there's just uh, so many interesting things going on in the space. So the first thing that I want to share with you is this article from NFT Calendar that says NFT sales top 2 billion in the first quarter with twice as many buyers as sellers. Now, the interesting thing in this headline to me is not the $2 billion, although it's quite a bit, right? But in the scheme of things, it's actually still very small. We're at the very beginning of the NFT craze. This is something that's going to be going on probably for the rest of our lifetime. So it's very, very small and it's very exciting. But what really interests me is that there are twice as many buyers as sellers. That means that people are buying the works, whatever it is, and they are holding it. They understand that it has intrinsic value and they're not just trying to flip it. Sure, some are, but there are more people holding it than actually trying to flip it and get rid of it, which is a great signal for the market that there's going to be some stability and there's going to be some floor, right? You want these things to go up. So that's fantastic. So sales of digital non-fungible tokens soared to more than $2 billion in the first quarter, more than 20 times the volume of the previous quarter, according to a report from nonfungible.com. The other thing that's interesting is that in the first quarter, this total that they came up with does not include the sales of things like NBA Top Shots, which itself is launched through the Flow platform, and it raked up sales of $472 million in the first quarter. So that $2 billion does not include that $472 million. On top of that, it also doesn't include the $69 million that Beeple sold through Christie's because it was sold through a partnership with Nifty Gateway. So for whatever reason, they decided not to cover that. So we're really talking about two and a half, maybe $2.5 billion, which is fantastic. And the article also says, and I think it's worth stating, that despite the recent price drops from the February highs, because we did have that silent crash in March, Non-Fungible says that the average price of NFTs has increased significantly during the quarter, with a work of art on Super Rare selling for an average of $1,231 in the fourth quarter of last year, but now the average is $6,585. That's incredible. That means if you are a user on Super Rare, the average that each artist is getting per work is $6,585 per work on the secondary market. So after, on the flip, which is fantastic. That is incredible. And just to put this $2 billion in context, I want to share just some of the places that things are moving in, because when we think of NFTs, we primarily think of things like this. We think of CryptoPunks or Super Rare or Gods Unchained or a lot of the art stuff, the game and art stuff, which is, it's a majority of it, but there's some other things out there that are starting to pile in that are actually adding to the overall sales volume of the space. So the most interesting thing here is really, CryptoPunks, we know I've covered CryptoPunks quite a bit. I've also just talked about the Super Rare image that sold for $500,000. Again, that's phenomenal. The other three top sales over the course of the last week have been Gods Unchained. And what's interesting to me about this Gods Unchained card, and I'm going to trip over saying Gods Unchained. I don't know why, but apparently, and I don't know the game, but you've got the last sale price was $515,000, which is fantastic. That's amazing. But this is a common card apparently. So I don't know enough about the game to understand why this card specifically would be valuable, especially if it's a common card. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. But you can see the history. The history is legit. I mean, they really sold this thing for $500,000, and there's several of them. Maybe they discontinued it. I don't know. But you can see the top sales for the last 7 days for Gods Unchained, $500,000 each. They're doing really good. Pretty amazing. So what else is out there that's contributing to the $2 billion in the first quarter? Well, a lot of it has come from music and film. We know all these celebrities are coming in, celebrity artists, celebrity musicians, celebrity football players, just everybody is moving in. You've got Don Diablo, who did an audio visual experience He sold it for $1.2 million. That's pretty amazing. You've got three-time Grammy winner Ryan Tedder to do his NFT on Origin. Ryan is from One Republic, so that's going to be a blockbuster, I'm sure. And Origin has certainly been pushing collaborations with celebrities. I think they are going to be the go-to place for certainly musicians and musical celebrities. They're doing an outstanding job, and they're bringing a lot of attention to the space in a positive way. So good on them. Mick Jagger also just jumped in. So he's using NFTs to raise money for indie music venues. So you can just see everybody is just starting to pile in. You've got music, you've got other things. The interesting thing is that we kind of expect musicians to jump in. You can kind of see with royalties and music. But now we've got the post office jumping in. And this is actually really interesting. The post office announced on Tuesday that they are the USPS has certified its postage non-fungible tokens, right? Or NFTs, because everybody has to say the word NFT and non-fungible token. This is interesting. The tokens are digitally stamped on the USPS e-postage labels and the physical item being mailed, creating a verifiable chain of custody for digital and physical assets. And all data, of course, is recorded in the blockchain. And the CEO, Joe Ruiz, says, using NFTs to help protect the process that's both familiar and important to everyone, mailing a letter or package, helps demystify this important new technology. It's simply postage printed from the blockchain. Now, I got to say, at first I read this and I was like, wow, that's actually really brilliant, a completely original use of blockchain and NFTs. But the more I think about it, it's essentially just a tracking number like what FedEx has, right? So do you really need to put that on blockchain to track, a letter from the gas company that says you're late on your bill? Probably not. But what the hell? Why not jump on the bandwagon and see if you can sell some digital postage some way? I'm actually surprised it's not the way that I would have thought, which is just digital stamp collecting. But I'm sure they'll get into that as well. Next up is the New York Stock Exchange. New York Stock Exchange decided to commemorate the first trades for Spotify, Snowflake, Unity, DoorDash, Roblox, and Coupang. They're talking about innovation in the space, and there's going to be many more NFTs to come, and you only get one launch. And, that's great. That's fine. It's interesting. I actually like the NFTs. I wish they were available to the public. I think they made a mistake. At least in my humble opinion, these are actually given to the companies. I'm going to share with you. Let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit share, and I'm going to see if I can share my screen with sound, because I forgot to do that. So let's see if I can do this. So Spotify, Snowflake, Unity, DoorDash, Roblox, and Coupang. And I'll tell you, I would like to own one of these. I think they're made a huge mistake, or maybe we can convince them to release others, because these are given to the companies. So Spotify got a Spotify token, Unity got a Unity token. That's great, but as an investor and somebody that buys stock, I would love to own an Apple NFT that signified the purchasing price or the trade that I made into it, or something. Maybe their quarterly earnings, so it could be a little more straightforward. There's a lot of ways to do it. I think the idea is brilliant. I think the execution is a little short-sighted, but I'm going to share with you. Let's just look at Unity. We'll do this. Pretty cool. I'd like to own one. Right? That's pretty cool. Like I said, so come on, Stock Exchange, NYSE, get with the program. Stop being elitist. Just give it to us. That's what we want. What else do you have? Well, we've got Hollywood moving in. So this was really interesting, and I'm curious. I'm going to do a deeper dive on this for my own education, because I think this is fascinating. The Hollywood premiere of La Aduana is America's first movie NFT. And you're like, well, were they just selling the movie via an NFT? No, they're actually selling shares for interested watchers who will derive distribution profits from. So you, by purchasing the NFT, will own part of the movie. You will own rights to the movie. Now, I do not know how deep it goes. I don't know if that's just marketing speak, right? Like what you'll actually be able to do with it, what they'll legally allow you to do with it. Even though they say, you know, at $1,000 each, Latwana would have 1,000 tokens representing ownership shares that distribute the movie's profit among holders, while the movie's online premiere itself is a $100 NFT ticket. So to watch the movie, you got to spend $100 for the premiere. Maybe that's a good value. I don't really go to that many premieres. We used to just go to premieres for free, but all right, $100, that's cool. $1,000 each. You own the tokens, and you end up owning, getting, I guess, kickbacks from the distribution. And it's also catching on to other things. Meanwhile, the trend is catching on, as I just said. An example is the Forest Road Company, a movie financial company that recently raised 20 million bucks that would exclusively make pre-production investments in exchange for exclusive digital collectibles and NFTs after the release. So Hollywood's definitely here. Hollywood's definitely seeing what they can do. And these guys who technically are not Hollywood, but Hollywood, you know, in kind of indie filmmakers, are going at it. Here's their site. Here's their OpenSea site. So you can see they're selling the movie premiere, which is pretty interesting, right? Here's the movie premiere. I don't know if they've actually launched it yet. Set of 25 NFTs is the only and exclusive world premiere of the film Latawana, the first feature film from the career of Emmy Award-winning writer-director Trevor Hawkins. This recently completed film has never been premiered or been made publicly available anywhere else. We will also be offering the actual copyright, and this is really interesting, the actual copyright in a separate NFT to own the finished film in its entirety. Yes, you read that right. The actual copyright to the finished film. You can own a film outright, just like a movie studio, a Hollywood first, an industry first, a world first. So that is really interesting. And then, of course, in addition to that premiere, the buyers are going to receive a copy, some high-res digital posters, a video message from the director, which is pretty cool. I'm very curious of how this distribution method works. I think it could have deeper implications of like how you can actually segment things out. I'm very wary of sharding and fractionalizing NFTs because we've already had the SEC come out and tell us to be careful about doing that. So I'm a little curious how they're doing it and how some other people are doing it. But overall, I think it's a pretty cool concept. You can see they're also selling stills. So this is the official frame number 10, official frame number 16. I think, and this is just speculation on my part, but I wish and I would hope that they would understand that I think what would have been better is to do this with a film that had more of a sci-fi element or that actually hit the NFT community a little deeper, because the NFT community, at least on the art side and the purchase side, is deep into digital tech, sci-fi. I mean, just look at any website selling NFTs or any artist selling NFTs, and you can kind of get the vibe. I'm not sure if this fits the vibe, but that shouldn't take away from its historical significance and importance, and the balls simply to do this, because this takes a lot of guts, and so they should be absolutely commended, and I wish them the best of luck, and I hope it does remarkably well. I think it'll be a great sign for other people. Finally, to sum up, there's just a couple other things to tie this in a nice little bow. On the movie side, Kevin Smith has jumped in. He's selling horror flick rights, so he's doing something very similar to what Latawana is doing. Not as deep, not like selling to copyright, but he's saying he's releasing his latest horror anthology, Kilroy Was Here, as an NFT. The owner of the NFT will secure the rights to exhibit, distribute, and stream the work, making it a revenue generator outside of just a resale. So here's somebody else saying, hey, you get to own this as well. You get to profit from the distribution as well. I think that's a really cool concept. So good on Kevin Smith. It's really fascinating. Also, Megadeth, which, Megadeth and NFTs, I guess. I mean, it makes sense, kind of. I mean, I didn't even know they were still around, but cool, man. Rock on. They sold their first NFT for $18,000, which is great. It was their logo, their signature character. Of course, other bands have done this. We know. I mean, there's been so many. I'll lose count. In this article, they mentioned Slipknot, which pushed out an NFT and sold for about $14,000, which is great. And I think that was it in this article. Yep. So that was pretty cool. And I wanted to give this to you and just share with you some other elements outside of just the art side that really can move us as a community and us as a medium, the NFT as a medium, way beyond this 2 billion mark, because we're just talking tip of the iceberg. We're just seeing the celebrity class, the Hollywood class, some of the Fortune 500 class, just the tip of the iceberg, kind of dancing in. Once this goes full bore, give it another year or two, I think this 2 billion is going to turn to 20, and I might even hit 200 pretty quick. I have a lot of confidence in the space growing and moving forward as it moves forward. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do me a favor, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, notification. Any other button that YouTube wants to put on there, please click it, except the down button, like the down thumb button, because that would suck. Let me know what you think. If there's any projects you would love me to cover, let me know in the comments below. If there's any news article you think I should know about, leave them in the comments. Let me know. I will do my best to cover it. Thank you guys so much. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.